Welcome back to our channel, where coins aren't just currency, they're a gateway to history, art and hidden treasures. Today we're diving deep into a remarkable quarter, the 2004 Iowa State Quarter. This coin features the influential American artist Grant Wood, and honors Iowa's roots dating back to 1846. If you've got one in your pocket, especially with a D mint mark, it could be worth more than face value. So, design, history, mintage and the exciting world of coin collecting value. Cut to coin animation with close-up of obverse and reverse. The Iowa State Quarter Program, 045. Narrator, in 1999, the U.S. Mint launched one of its most ambitious programs, the 50 State Quarters Program. The initiative ran from 1999 to 2008, releasing 5 state quarters each year in the order states joined the Union. By the time 2004 rolled around, Iowa, the 29th state, had its moment to shine. Show map of USA highlighting Iowa. The Iowa State Quarter was the 29th coin released, and the 4th of 2004, issued on August 30th of that year. But what made this quarter stand out was not just its commemoration of Iowa's statehood in 1846, but its beautiful artistic reverse design, a tribute to Grant Wood. Design and symbolism. 2. Close-up on reverse of the coin. The reverse of the Iowa State Quarter features a detailed depiction of a one-room schoolhouse, a teacher and her students planting a tree. This image is based on a painting by Grant Wood, the famous artist best known for his 1930 masterpiece American Gothic. Grant Wood was born near Anamosa, Iowa, and much of his work celebrated rural Midwestern life. The scene on the quarter reflects Iowa's strong educational heritage and conservation efforts. It honors the early 20th century Arbor Day celebrations, which encouraged children to plant trees, a fitting tribute to Iowa's commitment to both education and the environment. Zoom in on the phrase "Foundation in Education." Below the image is the inscription "Foundation in Education," a powerful message underscoring Iowa's long-standing investment in public education and learning. Obverse design. 4. Close-up on obverse side. Now let's flip the coin. Like all state quarters, the obverse of the Iowa Quarter features the familiar portrait of George Washington, originally designed by John Flanagan in 1932. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions, "United States of America, Liberty, in God We Trust," and of course the coin's denomination, quarter dollar. Zoom on mint mark location. Just next to Washington's ponytail, you'll see a small mint mark, in this case a D, which stands for the Denver Mint. Minting and distribution. 515. The 2004 Iowa Quarter was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia Mint, P Mint Mark, Denver Mint, D Mint Mark, San Francisco Mint's Mint Mark, producing proof coins for collectors. Let's look at the mintage numbers. 213,800,000 coins. 251,800,000 coins. San Francisco is Clad proof. 2,740,684. San Francisco is silver proof. 1,769,786. That means over 251 million of the D mint-marked Iowa quarters were produced, but don't let that number fool you. Certain minting errors, pristine conditions, and special varieties can raise their value significantly. Value and collectibility. 7. Show images of different graded coins and values. So how much is a 2004 Iowa Quarter with a D mint mark really worth? In circulated condition, most are only worth face value, 25 cents. But if your coin is in uncirculated MS60, MS65 or mint state condition MS66 and up, its value increases. For example, MS65 condition, $1.50 to $3. MS66, $5 to $10. MS67 or higher, $25 to $50 plus. But here's where it gets interesting. If you happen to have a high-grade coin with a minting error, it could be worth hundreds, sometimes even thousands. Rare varieties and errors, nigh varieties and errors, and the 2004 Iowa Quarter has a few to look out for. Show examples of errors. Some known varieties include doubled dies, where elements of the design, like tree branches or text, appear doubled. Off-center strikes, the image is not centered on the coin. Clipped planchets, part of the coin is missing due to a miscut blank. Die cracks and cuds, raised lines or blobs on the coin from die wear or damage. One example of a 2004 Iowa quarter, with a dramatic off-center strike, sold for over $150. Another with a crisp double die fetched more than $300 at auction. The key here is condition, rarity and authentication, grading and preservation. 11. Wondering how to know if your coin is worth grading? Professional services like PCG's Professional Coin Grading Service or NGC Numismatic Guarantee Company can evaluate your coin's condition and certify its grade. Cut to video of coin grading process. Coins are graded on a 70-point Sheldon scale. A MS-70 is a perfect coin with no flaws visible under 5 times magnification, very rare. An MS-66 or MS-67 grade is considered high, and can command strong prices in the market. If you believe your Iowa quarter is special, whether it's due to sharp details, no visible wear, or a possible error, it's worth considering professional grading. Part 8. Historical context. Iowa in 1846 to 1330. The date 1846 on the Iowa quarter marks the year Iowa was admitted to the Union, becoming the 29th state. In the mid-1800s, Iowa was part of the vast American frontier. It had fertile land, growing settlements, and a strong sense of independence. Iowa's entry into the Union came at a time of national growth and political tension leading up to the Civil War. Show 1800s-era painting of Iowa landscapes and settlers. Education was a cornerstone in the state's development. The one-room schoolhouse on the quarter represents thousands of such buildings across Iowa's prairies, centers of learning for generations of children. About Grant Wood, 1530. Let's revisit the artist behind the quarter's imagery. Grant Wood. Born in 1891 in rural Iowa, Wood was a central figure in the American regionalist art movement. His works celebrated Midwestern life with realistic, nostalgic scenes of farmers' schoolhouses and quiet towns. Show American Gothic painting. While American Gothic is his most famous work, his lesser-known painting, Arbor Day, served as the inspiration for the Iowa quarter. It's a tribute to community learning and caring for the land, ideals rooted in Iowa's culture. How to find rare coins 1730. So how can you spot a valuable 2004 Iowa quarter? Check for luster. A shiny uncirculated coin is a good sign. Use a magnifying glass, look closely at the text and details for signs of doubling. Check the edges. A full reeded edge with no wear suggests better condition. Weigh the coin. It should weigh around 5.67 grams. A heavier or lighter coin may be a planchet error. Look for misalignments, off-center strikes or rotation errors are valuable. Join online collector forums, check eBay listings and visit coin shows to learn more and compare your finds. Investment potential. 19. Are Iowa quarters with the D mint mark a good investment? While most are not rare, coins in top condition or with errors can appreciate over time. As fewer high-grade examples remain in circulation, values rise. Collectors also look to complete sets of all 50 states, often preferring uncirculated or proof examples. If you have a pristine Iowa quarter, especially in a sealed mint roll or original government packaging, it might be worth saving or selling to the right buyer. Outro. 20. Background music builds. The 2004 Iowa State Quarter is more than just 25 cents. It's a miniature work of art, a tribute to American education, and a symbol of one state's heritage. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this coin is a must-have in any collection. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of numismatics, hit that like button, subscribe and click the bell to stay up to date with our weekly rare coin videos. Drop a comment below if you've got an Iowa quarter, or better yet, one with a minting error. Until next time, happy collecting, and keep your eyes on your change. Cut to end screen with subscribe button, related videos, and social media links. On a monumental journey, the 50-state quarters program. Over a decade, each state would unveil a quarter reflecting its unique identity. Among these, the 2004 Iowa quarter stands out, a homage to art, education, and the legacy of Grant Wood. But what stories does this small coin hold? Let's delve into its creation, symbolism, and the history it encapsulates. Segment: the 50-State Quarters Program, a national initiative. Visuals, archival footage of the program launch, minting machines at work. Initiated under President Clinton, the 50-State Quarters Program aimed to engage Americans with their heritage. Each quarter's design was chosen through a collaborative process involving governors, historians, and the public. By 2004, it was Iowa's turn to shine. Segment: Iowa's Journey to Statehood 1846. Visuals, prairie landscapes, historic documents, reenactments of settlers. Expert interview historian, Iowa State Archives. 1846 marked Iowa's entry as the 29th state, a moment rooted in frontier resilience. The quarter's inscription, 1846, nods to this era, but the design transcends dates, capturing Iowa's ethos through art. Segment: Grant Wood, Iowa's artistic son. Visuals, American Gothic painting, Grant Wood sketches, rural Iowa. Grant Wood, famed for American Gothic, channeled Midwest life into art. His works, often set in Iowa, blend realism and idealism. The quarter's design, inspired by his 1942 sketch Arbor Day, mirrors this vision. Cut to art critic. Wood's art celebrates community and simplicity. The schoolhouse in the design symbolizes education's role in Iowa's progress, a theme Wood championed. Segment: Crafting the design, from concept to coin. Visuals, design submissions, minting process, animations. Iowa's design process began in 2002. Citizens submitted ideas, with 3 finalists sent to the U.S. Mint. The winning design, Foundation in Education, fused Wood's artistry with the state's agrarian roots. Mint official archival clip. We sought a timeless emblem. Wood's schoolhouse, planting a tree. It spoke to Iowa's past and future. Segment: The Denver Mint's Roll Mint Mark D. Visuals, inside Denver Mint, presses stamping coins. Coins bearing the D Mint mark were struck here. In 2004, the Denver Mint produced 213 million Iowa quarters. Each coin's journey, from blank planchet to polished piece, reflects precision engineering. Numismatist interview. Denver's quarters often have sharper strikes. Collectors prize these for their craftsmanship. Segment: Release and reception. Iowans respond. Visuals, crowds at launch events, children holding quarters. Unveiled in August 2004, the quarter was met with pride. Schools integrated it into history lessons, and collectors nationwide sought the D Mint mark. Local teacher testimonial. My students loved seeing their state's story in their pockets. It made history tangible. Segment: Legacy and collectibility. Visual auctions, modern Iowa landmarks. Today, the Iowa quarter remains a testament to art and heritage. While not rare, its value lies in symbolism. For Iowans, it's a pocket-sized tribute to their roots. Coin collector. It's a bridge between art and numismatics, a piece of home, wherever you are. Closing scene, sunset over Iowa fields. Visuals, golden light on cornfields, a quarter spinning into focus. Fifth O. From Grant Wood's brushstrokes to Denver's presses, the 2004 Iowa quarter weaves history, art, and community. It reminds us that even small coins carry vast stories. Text on screen, in memory of the past, in circulation for the future. Word count, approximately 4,000. Script includes detailed scene directions, interviews, and narration. Sources: U.S. Mint Archives, Iowa State Historical Society, Grant Wood Art Gallery, Numismatic Publications. This script balances historical depth with engaging storytelling, ideal for a documentary or educational feature. Each segment invites visual and auditory elements to bring the quarter story to life. 2004, as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, Iowa proudly entered the spotlight. Each state quarter was more than just, it was a small round canvas telling a story. For Iowa, that story centered on a cherished painting and a milestone date, 1846. Let's break it down. The obverse of the coin, like all state quarters from this era, features the familiar portrait of George Washington by John Flanagan. But it's the reverse that truly captures collectors' attention. Designed by U.S. Mint sculptor-engraver John McCanty, the reverse showcases an adaptation of a painting by famed American artist Grant Wood. You may know him best for American Gothic, but for Iowans, his work Arbor Day resonates deeply. Visual, side by side of the coin, and Grant Wood's original painting. The design depicts a one-room schoolhouse with a teacher and students planting a tree, representing Iowa's long-standing commitment to education and conservation. The coin also bears the inscription Foundation in Education, a nod to the state's pioneering public education. And let's not forget, the year 1846, the year Iowa was admitted to the Union. Section 4000 to 830. Grant Wood, the artist behind the image. Born in Anamosa, Iowa, in 1891, Grant Wood became one of the most recognizable names in American regionalism, a movement that celebrated everyday life in the Midwest. Visual archival photos of Grant Wood, including his paintings. Wood believed in the importance of local traditions and values. His work resonated with the people of Iowa and across the United States. That's why his depiction of rural life was selected to grace the state quarter. The scene, originally painted in 1932, reminds us of a time when community and education were deeply intertwined. Incorporating wood to a coin wasn't easy. Translating brushstrokes into metal requires detail, nuance, and precision, but the Mint succeeded in preserving the warmth and purpose of the original art. This artistic touch elevated the Iowa quarter beyond the ordinary. It became a miniature monument to culture, art, and civic values. Section 830 to 120. 1846, a pivotal year for Iowa. Now let's talk about that number, 1846. Why is it featured so prominently on the coin? In that year, Iowa officially became the 29th state to join the Union. But its path to statehood wasn't simple. The area had been home to Native American tribes for centuries, before being explored by European settlers in the 17th and 18th centuries. Visual map showing Iowa's transition from territory to statehood. By the mid-1800s, Iowa Territory was bustling with pioneers, farmers, and educators. On December 28, 1846, President James K. Polk signed the bill granting Iowa its statehood. This date symbolizes more than just a bureaucratic milestone. It represents the foundation of Iowa's legislative, educational, and civic identity. It's no wonder that the coin, rooted in tradition and community, carries this date so proudly. Section 12,000 to 180. Mint marks and the Denver D Mint. If you flip over your Iowa quarter and see a small D just above the date, congratulations. You're holding a coin minted at the Denver Mint. Visual close-up of the D Mint mark on various state quarters. The Denver Mint produced millions of Iowa quarters in 2004. In fact, over 251 million quarters were struck there. But don't let the high mintage fool you. Some of these coins have unique traits that make them stand out in the numismatic world. Coins with the Denver Mint mark are often subject to scrutiny because of known errors in other state quarters produced at the facility. This brings us to one of the most exciting aspects of this coin: potential errors that could multiply value dramatically. 18,000 to 250. Known errors and varieties of the Iowa quarter. Mint errors aren't just accidents, they're often rare occurrences that make a coin extremely desirable. Here are a few known and suspected errors found on the 2004 Iowa quarter, double die reverse DDR. Some Iowa quarters show signs of doubling on the tree branches, text, or schoolhouse windows. This type of error happens when the die strikes the coin twice, in slightly misaligned positions. Clipped planchette, a coin with a missing piece, often due to a blank that wasn't up properly. These are quite rare and usually easy to spot. Off-center strikes. Some quarters show images that are not properly centered, leaving blank space on one side and doubling on another. Die chips and cracks, small raised blobs or lines that form when the die begins to wear out. On the Iowa quarter, these might appear near the lettering or roofline of the schoolhouse. Minor errors can fetch premiums if they're sharp and visible. Collectors love these anomalies, especially when they're accompanied by the D mint mark. Section 25000 to 310. Grading value and market trends. So how much is your 2004 Iowa quarter worth? It depends on three major factors: condition, rarity, and error type. Coins in average circulated condition are worth face value, 25 cents, but in uncirculated or mint state MS condition values can rise. MS 65 grade, around $1 to $3. MS 67 grade, up to $20. MS 68 plus rare, $150 or more. Now let's add errors to the equation. Double die reverse, $25 to $150, depending on clarity. Off-center strikes, $50 to $300. Clipped planchettes, $100 plus. Major die cracks or chips, $10 to $70. Graded and authenticated by services like PCGs or NGC, often bring the highest returns. Section 31000 to 360. Spotting a rare Iowa quarter, tips for collectors. How can you tell if you're holding a rare or valuable Iowa quarter? Here's what to look for. Use a magnifying glass. Check details in the trees and letters for signs of doubling. Inspect the rim. Look for off-center alignment or edge anomalies. Weigh your coin. It should weigh exactly 5.67 grams. Anything off may indicate a wrong planchette or minting flaw. Check the mint mark, D for Denver and P for Philadelphia. Compare it to error listings online. Visual collector examining quarters with tools. Also, consider sending your coin for grading if you believe it's in pristine condition or has a visible error. It's a small value. 36000 to 390. Legacy of the Iowa quarter, and final thoughts. The 2004 Iowa quarter is more than a piece of metal. It's a tribute to an artist, a celebration of education, and a chronicle of a state's journey into the Union. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just checking your change for treasure, this coin is worth your attention. Grant Wood's timeless imagery, the proud inscription of 1846, and those fascinating mint errors. Each detail adds a layer to its story, and possibly to its value. Outro 39000 to 40. Inspirational music fades in. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the 2004 Iowa State Quarter. If you learned something new or want to see more rare coin breakdowns, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. And remember, every coin has a story. Keep collecting, keep discovering.